Violence is alarming to people who live and work in the area. Of course, the North 24th Street Business Improvement District met to discuss it.
John Chapman reports the discussion centered on community safety.
Recently, U-Turn held a community celebration, showing young people you can have a good time and be safe. U-Turn provides the opportunity to turn away from violence by treating violence like an infectious disease.
When you have a disease, you have symptoms. You go to the doctor, you get a diagnosis, and then there's a cure that's provided.
But that disease made its way into U-Turn. The city's latest homicide victim is connected to one of the team members. It affects the entire organization that is connected to the entire community.
So that connection sometimes leads to being directly impacted by violence. And that's happened, and it doesn't change the passion, it doesn't change the focus, but you need time to be able to process it and grieve.
The 24th Street Business Improvement District is taking another road to stopping violence in the community, doing the little things, putting up closed property signs to prevent late-night loitering, drinking, or other bad behavior, and working to improve the look of the area. Lavanya Goodwin, Executive Director of the North 24th Street Improvement District, says covering up grassy lots gives the neighborhood a better look.
We've even seen some recent data that says that when you clean up a space, when you put a fence around it, throw some grass seed out, you can reduce crime by 21%. And we've seen crime reduced in this corridor.
Goodwin wants people to know the situation is not hopeless, and they can help make things safer in their community.
People often ask, what can I do? Sometimes participating in a basic cleanup, sometimes keeping your yard clear of debris, fixing that broken fence can go a long way toward preventing crime.
Negron says by working together, the community can have more reasons to celebrate and reduce the number of reasons to grieve.
We have to stop accepting that it's going to happen. When we come together and we move in concert together because we're tired, we can make things happen, and we can make this stop.
On your side in Omaha, I'm John Chapman, 6 News.
The stakeholders in the Business Improvement District were invited to the discussion.